Hello. Hello, guys. Can you hear me well? Okay. Hello. I'm using today new incense. These are cones, not sticks, cones. Yeah, so I do have a few. This one is I bought of Palo Santo. Then I have other one that is patchouli. And this one is white sage. So yeah, I love white sage. So yeah, this is my first time using this brand. I hope I can light this up because I have the AC on. So I hope it doesn't blow. It smells good. It smells like white sage, which I'm glad because at least for me, um, I'm not into sweet flavors. But every once in a while, I need a, a nice scent because I usually work with strong herbs, so it smells pretty strong. So it's not that like wow, it smells delicious. For me, for me in a practical sense, if I want to cleanse my decks or if I want to cleanse energetically a room, I need to use the proper herbs or the proper qualities it must have. Because if it's just to light up a scent of vanilla or strawberries, I don't know, those sweet things, I'm not into that. I mean, I can use that in the room for the room to smell nice, but in order to cleanse, it's not. And also, Palo Santo is it's not for cleansing. I believe that it's more like to sell to shield. It's more like to stabilize the energy that is already in the room, to seal it, not sell it, seal it. Um, so in that case, Palo Santo, I have been using Palo Santo with you guys while I'm doing this live stream for a very long time. I believe I started with Palo Santo with the real wood. Um, and then you know that there was a time where there wasn't much stock of Palo Santo, so I didn't want to buy it also. Like I was like, because it was really hard to get it. I was like, okay, I will not consume it then. But for Palo Santo, you have to make sure that the place is already clean, like that you are in the right energy, or that you are secure about what you're going to do in the room where you are, or in presence what you're going to do. You have to be already cleansed, because Palo Santo is not for cleansing. Hello. It smells pretty strong, I must say. It smells as if I'm burning the sage, the white sage here. It smells like the real one. I got a question. Is becoming a member the same as joining? Um, Usually people join Patreon so they can request readings, personal readings. They pay through Patreon because I don't have any other way to get the payments. So usually Patreon is more like every time someone needs a reading or someone wants to make a donation, so they choose like the lowest tier. But the membership is more for people that are active in the community and they want to request certain things, or they have priority. Like the members here in the channel, they have priority to ask questions for themselves or questions for their favorite. And in Patreon, yeah, it's more for donation. It's more like the ones that are very active are the ones that always buy a reading, a personal reading. Mm-hmm. I love that purple deck. It's like you get direct answers from angels. Yeah, this is like an angel oracle. It's been a while since I used it. Like now that I'm moving stuff around, I found it. So yeah, I'm using it to see what comes out of these readings and the questions. Hello. Um, But yeah, it's been a while since I used it. Usually I use it I had done TikToks. I believe I had done TikToks, pick a cards with this one. So let's see what comes out. I'm thinking about this. I'm like, let's see how it goes. Actually, I had been working with angels last year. I did a lot of meditation, especially uh, um, with with I don't know how you say it. In Spanish, it's not angel, it's archangel. How do you pronounce that? Well, I had been working with Raphael. That is for health. When this whole thing happened with me and Luna, that we both got sick. and we were, going different places to get answers. Then I did a lot of meditations with him, with Archangel, with Raphael, and I felt very good inside. Honestly, like I never done it. I never done it. Um, I don't know why. I think that is what I needed, but I did a meditation that you had to choose like which and I had an oracle with certain um deities, and there were angels among them, and I got Raphael. So it was so fitting. I had him also in the lock screen of my phone. Um and and it's very interesting because green is my favorite color, dark green, as you see, as you see in my tarot clothes that I always use. I do love green, dark green, um, and his color is green. So yeah, that was my first experience, guys. Honestly, like oh my, oh um, there were a lot of things going on, and I'm usually, since I'm Catholic, I do pray a lot. I do pray. I do say a prayer. um but I was also very lost, when you try to understand, um and accept things that are happening. um and I always been not, I would say, I know people that they had talked about angels, and they did, I believe it was angelology or something like this. Um, and I was like, oh, I don't believe in those things. Even when I had the possibility to buy a tarot deck that was made of angels, like messages of angels, not an oracle. I believe it was like a tarot deck. I remember I saw someone using it. For me, a long time ago, when I guess I went to get a Reiki session, and that person had like angels tarot deck. And I remember looking at it and being like, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't know why, but I was so in disbelief. I was so in disbelief about angels. Honestly, like I was like not connecting. I was not connecting. Um, but then, after doing some meditations, I was like, I felt, I don't know, it's not a presence, but in the meditation I felt at peace, and I really felt the presence of an angel, I would say. Um, I don't know, it could be my guardian angel, it could be, a specific angel that I needed in that moment, but I felt so well. And I was like, wow, this is a new experience. This is like, I never experienced that before, guys. So I was like, wow. But, just like everything in life, you have to experience it yourself. It has to be the right time. It has to be the right moment. Everyone can tell you about their experiences. Everyone can tell you like, oh yeah, because I work with angels and I have this therapy with angels and I have a tarot deck or an oracle about angels. But if you are not in a place to receive it, you probably don't believe in it. And it happened. I was like, why am I so not wanting to get into the angels um energy, and it felt so peaceful. It felt so peaceful. And I was like, you shouldn't be so narrow-minded. You shouldn't be so narrow-minded. Do you know that in Kalahari, the lioness and lions roll over the sage plants just before they take up positions to begin the hunt? Ah, the smell of sage prevents the prey for detecting them. Ah, you needed guidance, and it comes in the form of an angel. That's what you needed. Yes, exactly. Yes. I feel after past couple years, you have deepened your intuition for engaging with this community. You have grown. Yeah, yeah. Also, like I was so. This is the thing that I was so grateful, guys, because you had been there for me with what happened with Luna. That I was also so grateful for that. At first, I was a bit resistant. I was like, no, why other people have to help me in this situation? Like I have to fix it myself. Like this is a private matter. I didn't want to tell people about what I was going through, and then I believe that everything happens for a reason, and this that happened with me and Luna, that we both got very sick. And I was in denial. You know that I was in denial because I kept bringing the subject up, that I was not feeling well, that I was in denial. But about Luna's health, I wasn't in denial. About her, I was seeing it clearly that there was something going on. But I think that sometimes maybe when you focus too much on your loved ones, and you worry about your loved ones getting their checkups and going to the doctor and having their medicine, and you are so dependent on them to get better or to get the help that they need, but when it comes to you, you don't do it. So I had to reconcile also with that and become a bit much more humble about, how sometimes the body is also fragile, that we can have an accident, that we can have, something happen to us, and that, no one is exempt, unfortunately, of this. Um, and and for me to be able to talk to you guys about it, that you are like, yeah, you consume my reels, but I was like, this is, I didn't want to open up the space, the live stream, talking about sad things, or not sad things, but talking about health issues, issues in general. I was like, but I think that probably it has to do with the trust that we have built in each other for all these years. So it makes sense that the more I engage with you, the more I share, you know. So yeah, I was also, this is why when I had this, angelic sort of presence, I was able to slow down my anxiety and being like, you don't have to fix it now. Just be responsible. I think that I heard a word. I don't remember. I remember if it said patience. It said patience. And then another word that I heard while doing this meditation was advance. It was telling me to advance. Even in situations of like advance, keep advancing. Um, and I think that it all makes sense, because if I would have stopped, for example, I did what I could for Luna, and then, I had Kali. Kali now is part of my life. And if I hadn't been able to advance, to move on, to heal, to be patient, also feeling sad if I wanted to be sad. Um, so so it's like, don't let fear or pain stop you or paralyze you, you know. Mm. Yeah, there's a similar of ingredients that I also. Yeah. So I was like, I was glad that I was able to listen to that, because um, I don't know. I think I'm growing, and I think that also, with the word patience, and I think that this applies to everyone. How we are living life right now. We are all in a hurry. We are all in this place of like, wow, it has to be now. It has to be now. I haven't been able to get, I don't know, a better job, to get a promotion, to get a house, to get, all these things, and that we are always chasing something. And we don't realize that we are better than yesterday. That actually, a couple of years ago, you were in a different place, and now you are a different person. So, it's all about processes. Sometimes we don't realize how much we had advanced. We are always looking ahead, like, okay, like what I haven't achieved yet, but we don't see how long it took us, to be here. Okay, guys, so the topic of today is going to be a bit of counseling, and then, with these questions, with these subjects that, people had recommended. I picked three. I do have one that I'm going to do. I believe Erin was the one that sent on the comment section, one that I'm going to do next Wednesday. So yeah, let's see with the tarot, what it says. And then we can talk about it. But yeah, let's keep an open mind. Let's take a deep breath, because these are sensitive times in K-pop world, and let's just receive the message. Let's see what comes out. Let's see what comes out. Okay. I'm going to start with the first question that it says, how to deal with feeling disappointment towards your bias slash or favorite artist person. This could be when, someone gets into a scandal or someone is leaving the group. How do you deal with, as a fan, with the feeling of disappointment towards a bias, um, maybe your favorite group. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with it? I'm going to pull 3 tarot cards that is like the past, where this subject comes from, where it is at the moment, and a possible future. Okay. And then I'm going to pull a card from the Oracle of Angels. Let's see what it says about this question: how to deal with feeling disappointment towards your biased favorite artist. The oracle is very straightforward. Okay, okay, okay. For this question, we have the Nine of Cups, that the keyword is comfort. We have Eight of Cups, that it says moving on / disappointment. This is so fitting. Moving on, I would say moving on from disappointment. Yeah, from me, the Eight of Cups is like moving on from disappointment. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, that it says manifestation. And from the Oracle of the Angels, we have the card of unlikely. So unlikely to deal with this feeling of disappointment. In a sense that, you know, I'm looking more at the angel, at the oracle of the angel. When it says like unlikely, it is to be like that's something that you probably will never be able to fully deal with. You know, it's something that probably is always going to come, even when you think that you are dealing with this or that you got over this, you know, and you're like, okay, this happened with my favorite group. You know, never again. But then, you know, something else happens. So probably, you know, the archetype is a bit harsh in the sense that it's like, you know, don't get your hopes up about, you know, finding like a proper way to deal with the feeling of disappointment. Just feel disappointed. And that's it. Because there's not a proper way. There's not a proper way. And probably is meant to disappoint you again. So how, you know, we always have to go back to ourselves. You know, like why is this affecting you so much? You know, what is going on in there? You know, because probably, you know, this disappointment, it has to do, there has to be an idealization first. You know, you have to have like an emotional connection, yes, and they are really good at building these parasocial relationships. So this is why, you know, when the card of the oracle says unlikely, is because their whole business is based on building these things. And even disappointment maybe is part of their strategy. But they will never change the rules of the game. It will always come up at some point. So you just don't deal with that. You probably learn ways or just, you know, you find a way to learn to protect yourself from feeling disappointed. Like, don't put yourself in there. Like, don't expose yourself that much. And probably this also has to do with, if this is very disappointing, also like, how about taking a break? Because things will probably continue to be like this for a very long time. Um, and maybe it's also it's part of the industry, so they are like, yeah, we know someone is going to mess up eventually. Today is this person, tomorrow is going to be someone else. So, but also, I think that it also has to do that, probably being a fan, it means at some point being disappointed. Because even if you heal your relationship, or how you feel about a certain person that left, that got into a scandal, you are going to get hooked again by another group, by another hobby, by another, um, influencer. I don't know. There's a lot of people. there's a lot of people that you can support. So when you support someone, you're sort of, putting yourself out there. You are putting yourself to the risk of being disappointed at some point. So the thing is to protect yourself. Maybe don't get too much. Don't, and if you see that you are starting to get too attached, take distance, because probably this is not going to change. It's going to continue being there like this, because of course these people, these artists, they are human. So, and the business is very competitive, so it's about seeing each other fall. It's like the fall of an idol or the fall of an artist is the rise of another one. So, it is like they feed off each other. So yeah. The situation, the feeling of disappointment, how to deal with the feeling of disappointment of, a bias, a group, or an artist. Where we come from, the past. You see, the past is the Nine of Cups. The past, where this comes from, is that maybe what hurts us the most is that the Nine of Cups is give me when you are very full. After you have a meal, that you are very full, that you are very satisfied. You are like, I ate what I wanted to eat. I'm full, I'm satisfied. I don't need anything. And this, because this enters in the past of the situation, it shows you that prior to the disappointment, the fan or the spectator comes from a place of satisfaction. This is what they do. They fill you with content, with a lot of interviews, with a lot of things, fun meetings, there's a lot of things. You are constantly being fed all the time by them. So you are so satisfied. You are so happy. You're like, yeah, they do this. They're always there for me. Oh, look, they're here. Oh, look, he made this for me. Oh, look, how great this song that he made. Oh, how great this drama that he participated in. Oh, he's amazing. Look at the promotions that he's doing. He's so successful. Oh my God, he's amazing. So handsome. Oh, she is amazing. So beautiful. So probably when you feel the disappointment, you fall abruptly, because you come from a place of satisfaction. You come from a place of being full, even the needs that you don't think that you have about a group, um, you have it like, you have plenty. You have plenty. You have a lot. So in the situation, the present, of this disappointment is the Eight of Cups. That is about moving on. It's like in the Eight of Cups, we come from a 9. Here we already have an 8. So, there's 1 cup left. And also the Eight of Cups reminds us that, maybe our cups were too full. Our emotions were too high. We were too excited. We were too happy. We were too much. We were like, wow, so satisfied, so satiated. There's this feeling of like, wow, I'm so happy. Oh wow, there's like you know. And the Eight of Cups is like you realizing that that satisfaction was fake. So then you do have to take away your cups. You do have to regulate your emotions and one by one empty your cups. And of course, it's painful. It's painful, especially the way it happens. You know, the realization of like, whoa, there's no going back. Like, I'm feeling disappointed. Probably I will not see this person again the same. So I have to move on. I cannot even look at their picture. I cannot even look at what they have been working on. I cannot, and that's the best state, honestly. But it shows you also that I see like this sudden drop of your loyalty as well, because you come from a place of like, oh, I'm so loved, I'm so cherished by my favorite, he says he loves me, you know, he's always thinking about us, and then, you know, something happens, boom, disappointment. So what do I do with everything that I'm feeling or that I have been feeling for them? I feel disappointed and I just want to get out of here. I want to take all my feelings and get away. And this is why sometimes, you know, when scandals or when something happens, you know, when people are like, oh, you know, people on the internet are so quick to turn against the person. You know, if there's a scandal or if there's like some news of someone leaving, they are like, they used to love that person, now they don't love them anymore, because it's the Eight of Cups. Your cups are empty. You have nothing left to feel. So, and I think, you know, that probably that that very rapid swift of like, oh yeah, from loving you, now I hate you. I think that it has to do with that somehow you know that it's going to happen. So you're just waiting for it to happen. So there's a level of agreement in here, you know. So I kind of understand that it could happen. So when it happens, I move on. Like it's like, oh, it used to be my bias. No, don't talk about that person anymore. Don't mention their name. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hear from them. Like even like I say it personally for me. Like I don't even want to see any specific person's name. I feel disgusted. I feel like, and in there it shows like, but weren't you the fan? Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't like that. You know, maybe I wasn't that satisfied as people thought, or maybe I wasn't that attached as people think that I was. Actually, it was a matter of time for me to drop, empty my cups, and just move on. Because for you to be able to move on emotionally, there has to be like, but I think that honestly, with the Nine of Cups, I think that probably it also has to do that maybe what you are consuming or what you are being fed into is not strong enough. Yeah, it's a lot. The companies do a lot for you. They put a lot of content for you and you consume it and you're like, yeah, that's my favorite. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, but maybe inside, even though you're satisfied, you're not that emotionally attached actually. It's like you're just satisfied of being treated as a priority. But maybe, you know, what the companies do is not that deep. Yeah, they keep feeding you with content, but maybe it doesn't reach to an intimate level of the person. Because some people is like, oh, in a scandal. I don't know them. I never liked him. There's, and usually when we see certain scandals or certain revelations about someone famous, we are like, if you stop thinking about it, you're like, I kind of saw something weird in that person. And you're like, I don't want to sound like the others, but you're like, yeah, he was kind of weird. You, so yeah, maybe it's not that deep. The love or the loyalty that one feels, like in the moment that you are so consumed by them, you feel like it's a very strong feeling, but maybe it's not that strong. And the Ace of Pentacles is the future manifestation, the future of, how to deal with feeling disappointment, towards your bias. The Ace of Pentacles also with manifestation, it sort of reminds me that the fans will always have the power because the fans have the money. The Ace of Pentacles is like, I have the coin. The coin is in my hand. So I can manifest a career for you. So at the end, even if you feel disappointed, you can always invest in someone else if you want to. And it can be successful at the same time. But it's always up to the fan. Because if it's up to these people, I don't see, like the oracle says, unlikely that these things will not get better, but will there come a time where I can fully trust, someone in the industry? I don't know. The card says unlikely. So yeah. Yeah. But it's very interesting because actually the tarot is sort of like, because I'm thinking of the place of the fan, how the fan deals with the disappointment. And I think that the cards are like, you're not that emotionally invested actually. So if you want to drop that idol or that group, just drop it. Drop it. Just move on. Move on. It's your moment. Move on. Do what you will. Do what you want because you have the power. The Ace of Pentacles is like, you have the power because you have the resources. So it's like, what are you going to do with it? Because the entertainment industry is not going to change. Like the oracle says, unlikely. But very interesting reading. I do love it. Thank you for the recommendation. This is like my first time doing this, guys. So yeah, this is the format of reading that I'm doing now. Let's see if it resonates with one of you. But yeah, it's a lot of info. So take your time, watch it. Okay, the second question. It says, allegations surrounding actors and idols. Will it bring more awareness about manipulation? Or about how the entertainment industry is so manipulative? And let's see the potential future of these allegations surrounding actors and idols, if it will bring more awareness about how manipulative they are. sorry. Why did I laugh out loud like this? So, but I was like, oh my God, why did I laugh so loud? Sorry, guys. It says no. And in capital letters, no. Oh my God, this oracle today, like, I know it's been a while since I used it, but it's like, this is my moment. This is my moment. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, allegations surrounding actors and idols will bring more awareness. Let's see where we come from. Again, from the past of this, like before these allegations happen, again, we have the sun. See, from the past, before, the bomb explodes or the allegations, the scandals, everything happens, there's this feeling of like, like, oh yeah, everything is so positive, like we are all beautiful, we are all shining, good fortune. There's also this feeling like, oh, we have such a good fortune. They probably pray a lot. Also, I don't know if some people, do some kind of prayer, if they have their own rituals, to bless this, their endeavors. Of course, we are all believers. We all want prosperity and abundance. And there's people that pray, probably, it depends on their beliefs. They do pray for good fortune. Who doesn't? Like, I want good fortune. I want my group to do well. I want my project to do well. I'm praying for this. So I think that before the allegations and everything, there's this atmosphere of like, they are like the sun. They are so beautiful. They are so perfect. They are so exposed in front of you because they open their hearts to you. And you are like, oh, I'm so lucky that they are opening their hearts to me and sharing their house. And I enter their house and I see through the screen that they are showing me their apartment, where they live, if they live with other members, they are showing us that they are family. They're showing us around the company. They're showing us around. So everything, it's marvelous. Everything shines like gold, good fortune, and also from the fan perspective, there's this feeling of fortune. Like, I'm so fortunate to see the bright side of my favorite or of the people that I like. Um, the present, we have the Ten of Pentacles. That is wealth. So, I think that these allegations surrounding actors and idols will bring more awareness. No, first of all, because the card of the angel, the oracle says no. But also because there's a lot of money invested. There's a lot of money invested. Like, I don't know from who when these allegations happen or these scandals happen, but the money machine keeps turning. So if someone, is being suspicious of something or there's allegations against a specific artist, they keep showing up to work because maybe some of them do have deals or they do have to show up to certain events. So there's this feeling of also maybe some of them are like, I'm not stopping my career. Even if, you are like, oh, but these allegations are very serious against you. And they're like, no, but money speaks louder. And I want my money. Or maybe the companies don't even let these artists rest. They are like, you already signed the contract, you already said that you were going. So even if you die of embarrassment, you have to show up. Even if people say that they don't want to see you, you show up anyway. You show up to work anyway. Because there's money invested in you. There's a lot of money. So, one day that you don't show up for work, it's lost money. And honestly, from some of the parties involved, there's always someone winning money. There's always someone earning money from this. So maybe these allegations somehow, even if you're like, oh, but this is not positive for that person. No, but maybe from some aspect, it brings wealth to someone, but it does bring wealth. There's money flowing, a lot of resources. There's a lot of resources, a lot. They don't stop because wealth is very important for them. Status is very important for them. So if there's a contract, if there's a possibility of me continuing working, I'm going to show up, even if it sounds so shameless. And you're like, what is that person doing here? You know, there was an allegation that they did this. I don't know. I just have to show up. I signed a contract, so I have to show up. And the future, you know, if it will bring more awareness, you know, these allegations and everything. In the future, we have the Five of Pentacles. So I think that there could be, you know, losses of income, because the Five of Pentacles could be an indication of poverty, or them losing some businesses, some deals. But I don't know. I don't think that this is awareness, actually. The Five of Pentacles is more like, oh, look at me. I'm being accused of something unfair. Look at me, the victim. Look at me, how I'm suffering. So it could be like them not being, you know, like really not being that much awareness. If they are sad about something, it's not about like, oh, I feel guilty, or I have a guilty conscience, or I feel emotionally affected. It's more like, I lost opportunities. I lost money. That's why, you know, and I think that since it's all so much pentacles in here, and the sun card that is about exposure, so what will people say now that I lost all this money and wealth? What are people going to say about me if now I'm more poor, I'm homeless, I don't know, or I have to sell my house, and like, oh, look at me because I'm losing all these material things. So I feel miserable. But awareness, moral awareness, like, you know, about your morality, being like, you know, maybe I didn't make the wisest decisions in my life. You know, I messed up a little bit. You know, I feel sorry for the way I behaved. No. It's more a look at the deals that I'm losing. Look at the opportunities that I'm losing. Look at all the wealth. You know, again, let's count the pentacles. Let's count the elements. I have, in the present, I have 10 pentacles, and now I'm left with 5 in the future. So I have been stolen. I have been cheated. You know, they left me in the dark alone, and I feel sad. Is there an emotional, spiritual kind here? No. No, it's just like I feel sorry for myself because of all the material wealth that I'm losing. So, yeah. But, you know, the oracle already said it. No, there will not be awareness in the near future. Hello, Chachalino. I believe that the question that you submitted was the first one, Chachalino, and I already read it, but then, yeah, you can watch the replay to see if you resonate with the answer. It's just that at the end, maybe it's because, like I said, when we have the sun card, it's all about exposure. Like I'm always shining, I'm popular. So it's about the loss or, a potential allegation or scandal. It's not so much about like, oh, people are going to find out that I'm not a good person. It's more about like, oh no, the companies that used to give me a job or a position or, brand deals, they are going to stop supporting me. So, maybe there needs to be more awareness actually that this is a job. This is like a material transaction, and maybe it's not like, oh my God, that person is so sad, or because, they are losing the love, the support. They're like, no, I'm losing money, or I lost my status, I lost my reputation. And for me, that matters. Maybe for us, people that, some of us, maybe we are more like emotional, we get attached, or we worry about what people would say about us, we worry about people talking bad about us, we worry about those things. But for the cards that I get here, it's all about, if I'm losing income, I feel like my world is falling apart and I feel like a victim because I'm losing income. Oh, that's okay. Thank you for the recommendation. I don't know if there's what did you submit, Chacharino? Was it the one that it says how to deal with feeling disappointed towards your bias / favorite artist? I believe that was the one of you. Okay. Thank you. And then, when you read it, when you read the, then you can leave your feedback. But it's not directed to you, Chachalino, like me being like, oh, you should work on this. Like, it's more on a general way of someone that also feels like, okay, I want to know how to deal with this disappointment that I've been feeling. It's a general message. It's not a specific towards you. It's in a specific subject, general subject. Okay, I'm going to continue with the third question that it says, double standards regarding how male and female are treated in scandals. Okay, let's see this. Let's see if there's going to be a resolution about this in the future. Double standard regarding how male and female are treated in scandals or during scandals. Let's see. Okay. And also, Chacharlino that just joined this Angels Oracle is pretty sharp with their answers. So yeah. Okay. About these questions, double standard regarding how male and female are treated in scandals. We start from the card that is placed in the past or where this subject comes from. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. We have Page of Cups. And in the future, we have the card of the Star, hope. It says hope. So it's very, there's hope, guys. there's hope. Something is coming, something is changing about these double standards. Definitely there's double standards, I can see it. But yeah, it's going to change because there's the card of recovery. So definitely, maybe because of things that has been going on regarding scandals, maybe also people are starting to see, like it's not to say like, oh, there's like, because humans are complex, so male or female, they can mess up too, both of them. But the thing that is very noticeable is, how they are treated when this happens. And in this sense, there's maybe, after everything that has been going on, people are recovering themselves. Also, I think that it's going to take a while for maybe for certain fans of male artists to, start like, this seems to be like there's a pattern of bad behavior. And me, as if this fan is a woman, sort of feeling a certain way about this, not just disappointed. As a woman, probably their intuition also telling them like, I used to like this person. Now I don't feel safe supporting these others. It's more like they can do a lot of damage. You know, and maybe having much more empathy or sympathy towards the victims also as well. Where they come from, we have the Eight of Pentacles, that says apprenticeship. So when it comes to these double standards, I definitely think that with the Eight of Pentacles, definitely it shows that, it starts in the training era also. When I think about um, apprenticeship and the Eight of Pentacles, that in the usual rider way, the Eight of Pentacles is someone that is like working, they are focused. And there's favoritism definitely towards male artists probably than female artists. Very early in their apprenticeship or in their training days, there seems to be favoritism towards the male. And if they mess up, or if early in their career they have some scandals or issues, or gossip, the company is going to invest to make it go away. Or if they have some personal issues, it's like they rely so much, like they see more potential and investment in investing in men, in guys, than a woman. I think that there's something about the complexity of a woman's nature that maybe, puts them in a lower position when being picked. And actually, the ones that are considered the best are the ones that probably try to hide a bit, are a bit more masculine, or try to hide, the female condition. That this could be, from having your period and you've been hurting and crying, and because you have your periods and you are in pain, and maybe, the female trainee that is really good at hiding that they're hurting something, or they're hiding that they're moody, they're hiding that they have a headache. There's something about, like, we, from training moments, we sort of have a favoritism. And the best trainees are men. The best trainees are men for them. So this is like, where they come from, the energy that they are like, the best trainees are usually men. Or, I don't know, the most successful, or the ones that make history. I don't know. It's like this. I think that also they see it from a place of like, I don't want to put my money in a girl because she could get pregnant. Usually at the workplace they usually do the same. But yeah, it's very old fashioned, honestly. But yeah, I can sort of see it. That is from the beginning. This is not like something that happened just now. No, it's been studied even by them, maybe by owners of companies, or CEOs, or maybe managers. They've been like, having to manage girls is much more difficult than guys. And the present of the situation is the Page of Cups. So it says meditation. So I think that also, with the kind of meditation, maybe this is a great moment. And we had seen it last year, that I also said it in a reading, that last year was going to be the girls or the women's year, not only like the groups, but also CEO, seeing more CEO, a female CEO more in the scene, bringing much more feminine energy into the business. And the Page of Cups, meditation, definitely it lets me know that probably the audience is sort of shifting their attention, even the companies, they are shifting their attention to the feminine, to the female, because they are like, they are sweeter, they are more empathic, they, you know, and also the Page of Cups is giving me like they want to sell an image of peace and unity. The Page of Cups is like this very young, naive, but young, emotionally person. So probably in the storytelling or the concept of these new groups or the groups of today, they are seeing that the audience is preferring much more the sweet concepts, or maybe the groups of girls that they look like dolls, they look like fairies, they are like best friends, they're doing each other's hair, they are smiling to each other, they are hugging, they are loving each other, they are like these puppies, they are so cute, and they sort of make you feel like something emotionally inside. You're like, oh, they're so cute, or look at that, that's so cute, that looks like my little sister. Or in my case, when I see new girl groups, I'm like, oh, that looks like my niece. And there's this feeling of in the heart, you feel like, oh, you're like, that's so cute, or it looks cute on her. So even though there's a huge topic, I know there's a huge topic about the age that they debuted these girls, we are going to keep seeing it. The Page of Cups is very young. It's very young, it's very inexperienced, and this is the concept that they are going for, that they will keep using. They will keep using it, like the concept of the sweet, innocent, cute girl or girls, because it seems like they can be like your forever, like they can do no wrong. They are angels, literally. They can do no wrong. And probably the audience nowadays, after a lot of things that are happening in the world, wars, there's a lot of chaos, a lot of hate, there's a lot of, a lot of bad things happening in the world. And maybe, people just want to see cute things, or they want to see cute dances, or they want to see, these girls acting like they really care for each other, and they are so cute and they're so young. And even if they are not minors, they want to also remain this style of them looking very fresh and young. So people are meditating on this. And even if you're like, I don't feel comfortable with this concept, they are going to keep you pushing it, and the useful concept is going to be used forever, because maybe for them, we know that, while you're young, you are like very, um, you are like, you are very valuable when you are young. Then as they get older, it's like, mm, but yeah, with the future we have the star. So yeah, about these, double standards and when it comes to, how it's being perceived when it happens to a male or when it happens to a female idol or artist. There's hope that they could change. There's hope that, maybe people are like, you know, female or the women in the industry are more fragile. We should stand by their side. So there's hope. So I wonder if they're going to do a kind of law, if they're going to create a kind of law to defend the young and innocent female trainees. I know that there could be people that are like, oh, but my biases, they're guys, but they're also very young. Yeah, but there's something about, maybe they're harder on the girls. There's something in there. And yeah, recovery. So it's possible that there could be a change. Mm. Mm. Thank you to the 3 people that recommended this. Of course, that I do have one that I did. I'm going to let her know that I did pick hers, but I'm going to do it next Wednesday. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for the recommendations. And of course, I'm going to try every Wednesday to begin the live stream like this, to do this section, so we can go deeper in these matters that you mentioned. I'm very interested to hear from you guys as a fan or as a spectator of K-pop or K-drama. I think that we are all learning, and of course using the tarot, So yeah, then you guys let me know if you enjoyed it. If you have another ideas, I'm open to hear it. Okay. Oh. Thank you, guys. Also, I cannot read like the letters. I know I should get a pair of glasses, honestly, like because I'm so like this tablet is so tiny, the letters, and here is so tiny. But yeah. Yeah, so we can focus a bit on ourselves. I want I want somehow to take the focus on the celebrities and more about us. What about us? What about how we feel? It's like the famous people, they can deal with it with their own resources or with their own tools, but what about the fan? Especially when you have such a young audience sometimes, or you have people that maybe, this is their first scandal or this is the first time that they see something like this. So yeah, you go through a kind of shock, and even if you've seen it before, you're like, oh my God, like, when, okay, I'm going to write down here who I'm going to read. Haewon, I have Haewon written down here, and I didn't search for her group. I believe Haewon is from Nmix, if I'm not mistaken. I believe She is from uh, Haewon. I believe she's from Nmix. Ah, okay. Ah, how seriously should the fans take the tarot readings of their idols? I'm going to take that question just because I want to see what they have to say. Um, is in a general way. It can be not only my readings, it could be anyone's readings. I'm going to use the oracle to see what it has to say. How seriously should the fans take the tarot readings of their idols? It says you're ready. It says you're ready. So probably it means that maybe for some consumers of tarot readings, or maybe for some fans that are watching tarot readings, maybe they are ready to hear or to receive the information or the feedback or the interpretation that the cards tell them. Um, this can also mean that maybe for some of the people there's like an opening in their own intuition or in their own way of viewing energies, possibilities, the future. Somehow the cards is like encouraging the person. It's like you're ready to hear it. The right message will come to you. Maybe the right tarot reader, because that's another thing. I believe that also it depends on what kind of readings the person likes. And maybe if there's someone that has been like continuously following a certain reader and they're like, oh yeah, I know their style, or I have been only watching this channel, and maybe the kind of you're ready is like you can also watch another's creators or tarot readers. You're ready to go deeper if you want to go deeper, but maybe there's an invitation for you to Like, don't be so shallow about what you're hearing. I understand, it's like, are you really listening or are you just being gossipy and you just want tea? Are you, because being able to listen to a tarot reading interpretation, you have to have a level of, not intuition, you have to know how to listen, first of all. So maybe there could come up a new wave of fans that are able to receive the message of the tarot. Yeah. That's what the angels say. You're ready. Come over. You're ready. Okay, I'm going to be reading for Haewon of Nmix. Let's see, for her for 2025. Is she a Pisces? Because I have the Seven of Cups. And I have the Moon card. She's very imaginative. She's very imaginative. For her, we start with the King of Swords. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands in the middle. We have the Three of Swords. And we have the Fool. And we have the Moon card. The keyword is fear. Fear. So, yeah, I think that she comes from, maybe in 2024, she has been very confused. Also not knowing how to feel about a certain man that is in her life, or it's sort of handling her own career, because we have this King of Swords very strongly, the first one in the reading. So I'm like, what is this man here? It could be like a CEO or like a father figure, someone that somehow is maybe, confusing her, or maybe letting her know that she has certain options, or that you should look more into this, you should do more of this, or maybe even promising her, if she's going to have her own individual things, or maybe promising the group as a whole um, a lot of things. It's like, oh, you guys are free, you can choose whatever you want, you guys are free, anything it's available for you, whatever you want, I will make it happen. He's very outspoken, he's very communicative. So but I think that she doesn't entirely trust this man. Maybe because he's a bit strict, or he's a bit cold, when he changes his mood all the time. There's moments where he pays attention to them, and then there's moments where he's very rigid towards them, or maybe he is very demanding. Of course, this is like an authority figure, so it makes sense that he's sort of like the ruler of her activities, or her ear, I would say. But the Seven of Cups is giving me this, like, you are selling us all these fantasies, but I don't know if I want to believe you. She's so suspicious. She's so suspicious. She admires him a lot, definitely. This is why, this person could be a boss. So, it's not like she's, fighting him. But I think that the Knight of Wands in the middle, there's something about also her energy, maybe this year feeling a bit much more like assertive and also feeling like she doesn't have much patience. She's like, can you just be, when you say something to us, can you be more specific? Like, can you give us the correct, like, guidelines about what we're going to do? Because she is in this Knight of Wands mode. So I wonder what is her role in the group? Is she a dancer or is she like a singer or what, or rapper? But with the Knight of Wands, I see a lot of physical and energetic, also a lot of stamina, a lot of power in her moves. So it seems like she has to, when you have to stop daydreaming, you wake up to reality and it's like, we have to go now, because, we are starting, I don't know, have a comeback now. So it's just like, okay, I'm ready. But um, it seems like she was a bit confused. Maybe he sort of told them something. He was like, oh, guys, in the future, I have a proposition for you, or I have a surprise for you. But she was a bit disconnected. She was like, oh, yeah, he said, he had something for us, but maybe he was like, okay, now you guys are having a comeback, or now you guys are going on a concert, are going to have a tour, so you have to go and practice. And she's like, whoa, okay. She's a bit frustrated, I would say. She's a bit frustrated because she's like, why couldn't you be more clear about it? It's like now her whole life, it seems like, is rushing. She definitely has the endurance, she has the energy and the passion to do this. She's not a lazy person, not at all. But she was a bit in the darkness about what he meant about certain guidelines that he gave them. So she's like, why did you do that? Like, why? Because she's a bit angry at him. She's like, you made us seem unprofessional, actually. When you make these decisions, it seems like you have no words, like your feedback, it feels a bit loose, a bit like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just promises or random reflections. Yeah, the words sound nice, you are very, entertaining to listen to, but I didn't understand what you meant back then. But now I have to get ready, now I have to get in a hurry, now I have to get the girls, my gear, everything ready, my body, my attitude, my hair, my maybe even, physically she has to train or do extra things, all in a short period of time. So she's a bit disappointed in that. She's like, you could have managed us better, honestly. But honestly, she doesn't have time to complain. It's just that she's looking at him, sideways. She's like, like, there could be, like, also I have the Free of Swords and the Fool card. So there could be a bit of disappointment about, about certain decisions that he makes, or about, people, I don't know what company they're under, but there seems to be a bit of disappointment. It's like, I feel, I feel like, she's growing apart. Like when you're like avoiding talking to certain person because you're like, if I have to talk to you, my face is going to give me away that I don't like this, that I don't like you. So she's like, I better just, play dumb, and I'm just, I'm moving on from this. But she is, this year is a bit like, it's like she's so happy because she's having like a new beginning. Definitely, there's new things coming for her this year in the group. So she's excited for this. Also she doesn't have a choice. It's like, the energy is starting to move. She has to hurry. Probably she has to do a lot of things at once. So this is why she's going crazy, because she's like, I don't have stability here. I don't have stability. I don't have a role model, like someone that is, um, I can rely on this person. No, it's all about, them demanding a lot of things from her, especially. Well, I'm reading for her. I don't see the others, but for her, it's like, I kind of, my relationship with you is kind of, I'm resenting you a bit. I'm resenting you a bit. Um, but I'm starting over because, this is a great opportunity, or this is a brand new beginning. So she's like trying to see the positive, but definitely there's a lot of messiness with the moon card in the middle, fear. She has some fears. Probably there's something about her intuition this year feeling a bit, um, amplified. There's something about her antennas, or her, the the sixth sense being very sharp this year, and her being like, I don't want to be that fearful. I don't want to be the negative. I don't want to be like the dark cloud in the room, but I'm suspicious. Like, why things like this? Why there's no order? And why is everything my fault? Because I see her in the middle being like, no, and you always do this, so, and also she's very lonely. I see her that she's like, she's tough. She's very strong. She's very strong. Definitely not a victim here, not a victim, but probably, her with the moon card, there could be a bit of fear inside of her. Also feeling very distrustful, suspicious, like, you know, you are all of the sudden you're too nice to us, or you're giving us too many options. What is this about? Are you using us? But she's a tough warrior. Definitely, I can see it. She's a tough warrior. Ah, she's a leader and main vocalist, I believe. Oh, thank you, Chachalina. Thank you. JYP, not that, man. I mean, it's not about the man. It's about the company. Like, they're so harsh on the girls. Please don't forget to leave a like, guys, to the live stream if you can. It would mean a lot to me. And sorry, I forgot to put the filters for the comments. Next time I'm going to do it. It's just that I had to change the setup of this live stream so many times that I probably messed up. Okay. I'm going to read for actress Yeaji and her career for 2025. Yeaji. Career. Okay, for actress Yeaji, Ace of Cups, Temperance, Ten of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, the Devil. And from the other tarot, we have the card of King of Cups, Balance. So yeah, this year she has to be very strategic. Honestly, like, the King of Cups is giving me like I know she's an Aries, so definitely I know that, she's very passionate about certain things. But the King of Cups with the keyword of balance, there's this feeling of like slow down, slow down, master your emotions, master your emotions, focus on you. Do not get involved, even if you want to, because I can see that she probably is like, she's trying to not, she probably is like, I want to work, give me something to do, I want to get out of my house, because she, you know, she has a strong emotions about a lot of things, and probably 2025 is going to be very emotional. At the same time, the King of Cups is like, you are a woman, like you are a mature person. Please act with maturity. Regulate your emotions. Find a balance. Do not get attached to other people's business. Focus on you. Focus, focus, focus. Find balance. And also balance could be balance, between her career and also her emotional side. Having a partner, wanting to be in a relationship again or wanting to have a new relationship, a healthy one. I definitely see with the King of Cups, there's a lot of feelings. So it is very important that she acknowledges those feelings and maybe the need to be loved, the need to love someone, the need to put love in a new project. I don't know, they need to be a mother. I don't know. The King of Cups, it could be a lot of things, but is emotional. So they're like, do not get carried away by your emotions just because you maybe are too focused looking outside. Go back to yourself, focus on you, focus on your measures. The others are the others. Um, yeah, with the Ace of Cups in the Temperance, definitely. Is she working on something? Um, because there's a lot of inspiration in here, but also there's a lot of healing. Honestly, she's healing a lot. She's feeling very sensitive. This is one thing that probably, if you follow her, you're going to see or hear from her, or you're going to maybe, if she shares something with the fans, it's going to be very emotional. She cannot help it. She feels, um, she feels very much. She feels very deeply as well. So, but at the same time, the cards are like, focus on you. You are the source. You are your source. Come back to yourself. Give the love to yourself. Love yourself. Like work on yourself. Invest in yourself. Don't invest in others. Invest in yourself. You need it. Don't lose focus. Don't get interrupted in your process of healing. I know it sounds very egotistical, but if I was her advisor, tarot reader, personal tarot reader, I would be like, focus on you. Focus on your journey to healing. Focus on your journey to, rebuild your career or come back or do better projects, do more projects, create something new, move. I don't know what you want to do, but there's a lot of things available. You just have to choose where you put your intention into, where you put your energy. That is a lot. She has a lot of energy. She's someone that she can get carried away very fast. I would say she's very impressionable. She's very like, you can influence her very fast because she goes from 0 to 200 in a second. It's like she doesn't know how to detach. She doesn't know how to detach. And this year is the year to detach. Like she has to focus on herself because no one is saving her. She's still in trial mode, I would say. The Ten of Wands in the middle. If she does have some work this year, it is going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging. I don't know if it's to finish the project, to finish the project, to get everyone to agree, to, I don't know. I think that she will really try her best to be there, to be on time, to show up. She's carrying a lot, I would say. She's carrying a lot. She's feeling, probably this year she's going to feel very overwhelmed by her emotions. A lot of things are happening around her. She's also dealing with a lot. Everything that happens around her triggers her own experience. Everything feels personal. Everything feels too close. So the Ten of Wands is like resilience. Keep moving. Don't look to the sides. Don't look to the sides. Just keep doing you. Keep showing up to work. Keep showing up to what you have to do. Focus. Don't lose focus. It's going to be tough. Also, I think that there's something that bothers her that probably she will have to deal with this year is a contract that she has with someone. Maybe she's thinking about getting independent or just becoming independent from a contract. I don't think it's going to be easy because this person has a hold on her, not just contract-wise. There's another things. There's more like money. We invested a lot of money in you or something like this. There's a bit of, manipulation. Like, you have to stay loyal to us. So, and probably this is why she's feeling so moody, because she's like, I don't want to deal with these people. I want to do me. I want to be free. I want to be independent. I know I have she knows she has a lot. She knows she's valuable. She knows she's talented. She knows it. It's just that she's tied to a contract. She's tied to a contract. She's tied to a contract. And she's tied to responsibilities. I don't think she will be able to get away. Not this year. Maybe she can. Maybe she can. She got the full card. I try to clarify this, this sort of deal that she has, attachment, and I see the full card. New beginning. Finally free. So, I said that probably not, but the cards are like, maybe she will. Maybe she will. Probably she's pushing it or she's like working extra hours. She's doing something. First of all, because she doesn't want to deal or look at certain people or deal with certain people. So, the Ten of Wands is always this person like carrying these wands, very heavy wands, like not looking what's in front of them. Also, these heavy ones are sort of covering this guy's face. So he cannot see where he's going, but he's like, I'm going to take them myself and I'm busy. Leave me alone. I'm busy. I have to carry these 10 wands. These 10 wands are mine. They're my responsibility. I'm carrying them. Get out of my way. And this is like a self-defense mechanism of hers, to keep herself busy. Maybe she's saving money. Maybe she's going to do extra work. extra appearances. She's going to do something to be able to to be more independent of this, or maybe to buy her independence. But yeah, she's very stubborn. Yeah, this is why I was laughing, because I was like, maybe not this year. It's not going to be that easy. But I believe that she loves challenges. So she's like, you're telling me that I will not be freed this year? I will be freed. I will show you. I will show you. Yeah, the tougher, the better. She loves it. She loves it. She's like challenging me. Like, you said what? You're telling me I cannot do something? What? Okay. I'm going to continue with Lin Yuna of Girls' Generation. Let's see her 2025, how it's going to go. Hmm. It's very interesting because I do see her a bit isolated. Is she having like her individual activities? Because I don't know why I feel like it's not that she's going on hiatus, but there's a bit of like, I don't see her showing up that much. Or maybe she's a bit disappointed on certain things that it has to do with others, or with having to collaborate with others. Maybe these are like business opportunities that are not coming through. So she's a bit disappointed, or she's going to be this year, the Five of Cups in the middle. For Yuna, we start with the Fool. We have the Hermit, Five of Cups in the middle, Justice, and Seven of Swords. Then from the other oracle, from the other tarot deck, we have the card of the Ace of Swords. The keyword says creation. So definitely, Yuna is a very creative person. I know she's a Gemini, so it makes sense that the Ace of Swords, if you see this, the Ace of Swords has like, the image of like a pen, or like a brush. So, with the Ace of Swords, it's like, she can create anything from scratch this year. Just feeling, even when she thinks like, I'm not feeling my best this year. I had some deals, or I had some opportunities, and those, I feel like, some of them, they didn't respond to me, or they left me waiting, or they postponed certain things. There's a lot of disappointment, or a lot of missed opportunities, I would say. But the Ace of Swords is like, you are so creative yourself, or you are so intelligent yourself. You have the possibility, the clarity, the intelligence to create something of your own without needing other people to middle in, or other people to arrange this for you. Maybe this year, could be, this year could be a year of not relying on others. Not relying on others, because I think that with the Five of Cups, there's this feeling of this disappointment, her feeling very disappointed. Very disappointed. Is like, maybe the people that she counted on, or the people that were supposed to work with her, or things that were very important for her. Because we start with the Fool and the Hermit. So there's this promise of a new beginning. Maybe she, I don't know, entered this 2025 with the feeling of like, yeah, I'm free. I'm free of something. I closed a cycle and now I'm ready. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for something exciting, for not doing the same things that I had been doing all over. And now I find myself alone, isolated. I don't know where to go with my ideas, or I don't know what to do about myself. She is a bit lost in this sort of freedom or new chapter of her life, which is very understandable, because I don't know, maybe in the past she did rely on others, or she had to get into an agreement with others, work in a group. The dynamic is super different. And now that she has this potential new beginning, or this having free time, having freedom to think like, okay, what is going to be my next project? And with the Hermit, it's like, I'm I'm not getting that much ideas. Like, I don't know if people are not contacting me, or what they are contacting me, I really don't want to do them because it's more of the same. So, with the Five of Cups, there's this feeling of like, I should have stayed with what I already had, and not resign to the role that I already had, because this that they promised that I would be doing, it wasn't that good, or they canceled on me. So, there's this regret, this feeling of regret, of like, I thought that this was going to be good, and it's not that good. It's not that exciting. It's not that exciting. But maybe the Five of Cups is also very emotional. It's a very emotional card. Maybe, some things have been going on in her private life that she also feels regretful, or she feels, um, she also feels a bit, you know, like, wow, I wasted a lot of time on these things that don't matter. At the end, I feel lonely. Or at the end, I'm not getting the satisfaction that I usually get. There's something in her that is changing, and probably is because of this new beginning. She entered the year risking her whole reality. I don't know if she had to start over. I don't know if she resigned to something and she was like, okay, now I'm on my own, or now I'm going to do something different. Um, but it seems like it's going to take a lot of inner work or inner reflection of hers to get into a place of like, wow, I really love what I'm doing. Probably this year is all about her comparing how things used to be a couple years ago to now. 2025 doesn't seem that exciting. It's like, it's more of the same. Um, maybe she, with this new beginning, she thought that things were going to be so exciting. And now she's like, oh, I have to review this, and I have to review this on my own. I think that she turned down a potential role, or she, there's something about her choosing something over other project, and she's like, oh, I wish I had chosen the other one, because this one I don't like that much. But yeah, then we have the Justice and the Seven of Swords. So I think that honestly, with the Justice, Yuna is a very responsible person. She's a very responsible person. So she, at the end, is going to give her best. She's going to give the best of herself, to do her best in her job, in her roles. But also the Seven of Swords, there's this escapism, this feel like, okay, yeah, I will do my part, but don't ask me to be that invested in this. I will just show up, do my work, and I will go. Because there's a bit of evasion from her. Also, the justice literally, it could be that there could be some justice, something happening also around her about, some people getting the karma or some people getting justice around her. So with the Seven of Swords, she's like trying to not get involved in other people's karma, or if she was the one asking for justice, there's this feeling of her sort of escaping something. I don't know if it's like a contract, it could be like a deal, something. But I think that she's like, I better call justice for this because I don't want to deal with this myself. But yeah, I see her energy just very, very reflective. And also we are in the year of the hermit. So maybe, in the beginning of the year, it doesn't seem like there's action right away in her life. It's more like, okay, I have to sit with me and I have to reflect about my future. I somehow don't like the way I'm feeling. I'm feeling like there's something missing in my life, like I need to also find balance because she's running away from something. And I don't know if it's because, she's not connecting with her emotions. I don't think that it's about money, even though I don't see money in this. I don't see stability. But I also don't see her in the mood to make drastic changes. She definitely made a big change last year. She started with the Fool, so there's new chapter, new me. But probably, just like any new beginning, everything feels odd, feels weird, feels new, feels uncomfortable. She has to go back to herself and reflect on, okay, what do I do from now on? How do I run this? How do I do this? What is wise for me to do? Um, and I think that all these important decisions, she does it um, by herself. I don't see someone helping her out. I don't see any special someone. I see her on her own. Um, and honestly, I think that she feels a bit awkward having to slow down. Maybe she's used to being much more busy than what she is at the moment. So she's like, she's a bit like, oh. But yeah, the Ace of Swords, the inspiration, the creation is coming very, very soon. Probably not right now, but she is, in this year with a lot of potential of creating something new. It's just that probably it has to do with her that she has to be in silence to connect with her creativity, or she has to be by herself to start writing things, to have a journal, to start journaling. It's like the creation, the potential is in there, but she has to find it by herself while she is on her own. And probably feeling a bit uncomfortable with being this alone. Um, but yeah, it's a whole new stage for her. She has the potential to create something new. I just think that, she shouldn't be waiting for someone, to sort of be like, hey, I have a list of things that I want you to check. I think that the cards are like, no one is coming. You better start working on this yourself because no one is coming to give you a new idea. It has to come out of yourself. So she has to get the inspiration for this creation. She has to get it while she's on her own. So yeah. But yeah, she's very isolated also. Probably this is like bothering her, but I don't see much love or connections. I see her very isolated. But she's a very intelligent lady. She's a very intelligent lady. She has that. It's like I would be like, Yuna, get that pen, that pencil, grab a piece of paper, and start writing down your ideas or your dreams or your inspiration, but just write it down because she has it. She has it in her. It's just that she has to connect. Mark is from NCT. I forgot to put. I just put Mark. Mark is everywhere. Okay. Mark solo comeback. Let's see. It's okay. It's okay. Could it be that his solo is like this project is full of collaboration? Because I have the Three of Cups in the middle, so I'm like, he's not doing this alone. I mean, I know he has a lot of people working for him, but I mean, like, he's not the main attraction. Could it be? Could it be? Okay. For Mark solo comeback, we have Knight of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups, Three of Cups in the middle, Justice, and we have the Seven of Cups. And then from the other deck, we have the card of Judgment. That the keyword is awakening. But yeah, every time I see the card of Judgment, it's like literal, guys. Like I see Judgment and I'm like, yeah, they are going to be judging him. But I mean, everything is valid, is a kind of feedback. But yeah, we learn from everything. I mean, I think that someone rushed this, and I see a woman here, the Knight of Wands with the Queen of Cups. I wonder who rushed this project. It was like, it's not Mark's idea. There's someone that has been working with him that is like, this should be good for you. I'm going to propose this to the others. There's I don't want to say a CEO. It's not a CEO, but it's a woman that she's very fond of Mark. She's like his mother, I would say, like, but in a motherly vibe. She looks at Mark. Maybe she knows Mark from trainee days, and she's very protective of Mark. So she's like, Mark, it's your turn. We have this for you. You have to go and get them. And of course, Mark, being the person that he is, he's like, okay, I will do it. I will do it. I have a lot of things to do. I'm super busy, but I'm already on the run. I'm already on the way. So yeah, one more thing to do, two more things to do. It's like I'm already here. So yeah. But I think that it's a woman's idea. She really loves him. She really loves him like a son, I would say, not romantically. But yeah, the Three of Cups for me is like, I don't think that it's about achievements or money or like records, like or numbers. I say more collaboration. I don't know if Mark is building community with other artists, like he's like, I don't know, maybe in this project he's having a lot of collaborations, or he's inviting a lot of people, but it feels more like a celebration for him. Maybe that, or the other people invited are sort of celebrating Mark's work, or Mark's, also the fans could also be celebrating Mark. Mark being, this person that I believe that he had a lot of solo projects, so people are happy for him. People around him that really love him, that they are the people, his community, his friends, his colleagues, maybe other people from the industry as well. They're all showing up for Mark. They're all showing up for Mark. And they are building community also with Mark. I think that the reason to do this probably is to do some networking. Maybe they're trying to get Mark to collaborate with other artists of other industries, or maybe from other companies. Like he's like, getting himself in there through connections, and maybe, knowing people, acquaintances. But it's super fun. It's so fun. Like it's bringing people together. So it's a good tactic, I would say. I think that it could gain popularity or views, because of who he's associated with. Maybe people being like, oh, Mark knows a lot of people, and actually he has, a good friendship with this person and with this person, that they are totally different. They are from different industries, but he has his people, so somehow he's sort of like, he's placing himself in this community of artist. So he's going to do very well. He's going to do very well. Again, the Justice and the Seven of Cups. When it comes to the public perception, or maybe an outcome, with the Justice and the Seven of Cups, there's this feeling of maybe, some people, like, I think that this is something that every time I read for Mark, I say it. Some people, are like, this is not fair. Why him? Why always him? With the Seven of Cups, it's like, why would you do this with him? Are you trying to distract us from something? Is something going on? Is the same in legal problems? People assuming the worst. But they're like, this is not fair. There's something about people being just like, you could have done so much, or you could have done so much for Mark, and actually you are confusing us. We don't understand what this is about. Maybe some people don't understand the concept. They don't understand why he collaborated with this person and then the other one, and why. You should be more fair. There's something about people judging in that sense because of fairness. Maybe they wanted this solo for someone else, and they were like, this is very fishy from you. Like, you're trying to do everything at once, and no, we want, I don't know, a proper comeback or solo of this person. Like, why are you? Maybe also, maybe the audience is also confused about the amount of solos. With the Seven of Cups, it's like you're promoting a lot of solos at once. We don't even have a moment to enjoy the solo. You're already promoting someone else, so it's so fishy. It's so confusing. People are going to be confused, and there's going to be claims of unfairness. Like, you don't bring justice to other artists that are also waiting, so you're so unfair. And unfortunately, Mark gets in the middle of this, but yeah, it's the general sentiment. But yeah, judgment. I think that also, the keyword here is awakening. So, there's whatever feedback they're going to get from this is not directed to Mark as an artist or as a person. Maybe it's more towards how the company is dealing with certain solo work or solo artists that they're promoting. People are tired or of their inconsistency. It's not clear what you're doing. You are messing with our heads. We are a bit dizzy. We don't understand the information. We don't understand where we have to vote. We don't understand where we have to, gather the information. It feels just like a lot. But yeah, with the judgment, I think that this has to sort of serve as a way of awakening for the company. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your artists? Like, stop confusing people. People don't forget. People are still fixated on certain unfair treatments. So they believe that everything is happening so fast. Everything is happening at once. So people are like, this is not a great experience. Definitely for Mark it is, because he's collaborating with people that he really respects and admires. He has a great community also, so he's not affected, but definitely there's a bit of confusion of what's going on. Okay. I'm going to be reading for the actress Kim Hedu and Lomon, new drama. So I'm going to place her, Kim Hedu Lomon, in the drama. It's going to do well. I don't know much about this drama, but a lot of teamwork. There's good teamwork. There's a lot of a good chemistry as well. They are in the same page. From the part of her, Kim Hedu, we have the Queen of Swords and the Judgment. So she as sharp as always, because I always get the Queen of Swords for her. So she's so sharp when she's working, like she's so studious, she's so straightforward, she's so vocal about what she needs, what she wants, her lines, everything. Yeah, maybe she can sound a bit harsh, with the Judgment. She's like a bit extremist, a bit on the extremist side, maybe when she says something, it could sound a bit harsh. But definitely she has a great vision about what she wants to achieve with this drama. And also she probably is very knowledgeable. She knows about a lot of things. So with the Judgment, it's like, I don't want to judge this actor, this other person, Lomon. I haven't heard of him. I don't know who he is, but it's like it's not that she wants to judge him, but there's something about her. If they have to do everything all over, she's going to be the one that is going to somehow call the shots or make this obvious. I mean, like, we mess up here. Can we do this again? Can we review this? I think that if we do this all over on another different perspective, this will come out better. So she is, just very, very, and not harsh. She's strict. She's like, I want things to be perfect. So if we have to do them all over, we will do them. And also, she probably loves to give feedback to his people, to the people that he works with. It's like if she sees something, the Queen of Swords is very sharp. The way they see things, the way they observe everything around them, so like nothing misses her eyes, she sees everything. So I think that for her it's really hard to, turn it off and be like, oh, I didn't see that happening. No, if she sees a mistake, she's going to want to clarify this and work on this. And she can be very insistent. She can be a bit intense, but she's like, I just want the best of the best for this project. Yeah, and from his side, he got two queens. So, the good thing is that she got a queen as well. So he's, I don't know how old he is. I don't know nothing about him. But with these two queens, I think that he's also, very perceptive to her energy. And he's also very generous and very willing to, receive what she has to offer. She wants to give him a feedback. He takes it with a lot of delicacy. He understands her. He's very empathic. He's also very hardworking. He also takes care of details. He doesn't get offended. But he's like, we are a team, so I will take what you're giving me. So yeah, super sensitive him, super sensitive, learning, but also he is, he also has his pride, because he is represented by these two queens. So even though he's very sensitive, he's still a queen. So there's something, that he also values himself, or he also feels like, like I also have my value, I also have my experience, I also matter, it's like she comes here as this queen of swords, and he comes here with these two wings. It's like, about egos, both of them are equals, they're not going to look down, or being like, oh yeah, I will do whatever you say because, I'm inexperienced, or, I'm humble. No, he's not, he's not humble at all. It's just that he's a great listener, and he's very, I believe he gets along well with women because he got two queens. So there's an aspect of him understanding, women, and also probably him being an artist, he's very sensitive. So there's something about him, just being very understanding and hardworking, and just taking maybe her feedback, taking it as a tool for improvement, instead of being prideful and be like, oh no, you will not tell me what to do. No, no, no. He takes, the feedback very well. But yeah, the drama is going to do very well. At least it's going to come out the way they wanted it to come out, the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So there's this feeling of like, their teamwork, or how they get along, or how they're able to work their differences, and maybe work also with the whole crew, is going to pay off. It's going to be very satisfying for them, the final product. So it's going to be great. It's going to be very good. Also, they got the Emperor. So there's something here that is strategic. So again, the Emperor, we have these queens on their thrones, and we have the Emperor that is also seated on the throne. So there's a lot about, assertiveness, like, okay, this is us. We are seated here. We are prideful. We are an authority because we came here to play hard, to work hard, and we're going to deliver the best, and nobody's moving us from here. So probably there's a lot of competition. I don't know what the drama is about, but with the Emperor, it seems like they want to take over the views, the audience, but it seems like they really mean business. They really are very committed to this, to make it work, or to maybe win the audience, to, I don't know, it feels very ambitious. Guys, what did you think of my angel oracle? Do you think that I should bring it back next time? I will leave it for the counseling sessions because it's like, oh, it's like so straightforward. Like, I love it when they are like this. Because actually it's been a while since I used it. So I'm surprised. I was like, oh wow. Oh wow. I was like, you really are like telling me yes, no. Oh, but yeah, like I told you guys, I don't know if because of the weather, because it in the weather forecast it is, it's already in there that Saturday and Sunday there's going to be rain. There's going to be a lot of rain. So I don't know if I will be able to do the live stream. So I guess I will see you on the other Wednesday. But, but, um, I don't know. I will see if I can make it. Because if the rain is not that hard, I can actually cover this. And if it's not that, that heavy rain, I can cover this. And, maybe it's not that noisy. Um, because I want to start with the this is this is me being trying to be as productive as possible because every season is about to start. It's about to start. We are already here, like not yet, but we are very close. So I will want to start reading for Aries idols. So I don't know if I should do it on Friday. It's just that Friday, if I have time, I would do it like maybe 5 p.m. my time. But I don't know if you guys can make it 5 p.m. or Saturday morning. Saturday morning. But yeah, I have to follow the weather forecast. I have to follow. Just as the day passes by, I have to do it. But in the case that maybe Saturday or Sunday the rain is not that heavy, I can connect. And I will let you know. I will try to let you know ahead of time, like, okay guys, I think that the weather is okay. I can do it. Mm. Yes. My son's birthday is in 4 days. Wow. Yeah, it's starting, Yeshoda. It's starting. I'm thinking about my dad's birthday. I'm like, I have to buy the cake. I have to order already in time the cake. I also have my sisters, like my sisters, yeah, my cousins that are my sisters' birthdays. So yeah, a lot of people. I have a lot of Aries friends as well. So I'm like, but yeah, yes, yeah. I will try to be, to not create the link until I know exactly the time because the other day, that I had created the link for the live stream and then I had to change it. Like it's so I don't like to get you confused, guys, like about like, okay, you thought that I was going to be live stream. I was supposed to do a live stream on Friday, but then I couldn't. Then the Saturday I couldn't. Then Sunday I couldn't either. So yeah, it's a day at a time. Yes, Aries people are so fun. Yes, they are so fun. But yeah, guys, I will. I think Let's see how the weather works here. But yeah, yeah. It's just that if we cover the part in here, then I cannot get out. Because my dad was like, we can cover we can cover the door with plastic on the door frame, but you cannot get out. Like there's no way like I'm stuck here until it stops raining. So yeah. But for me it's not so much the door, it's the leaking on the other side that is open. Is like we have buckets on it, but it leaks and it's like thick, 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 and it's like right there, very close. So yeah. But yeah, I will create the community post so you guys can lead me ahead of time your favorite Aries idol or artist so I can put them on a list, okay? Oh, it sounds like the storms we just had through in the south. No, yeah, no fun. No fun at all. No fun. Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I'm so relieved that the battery of this didn't die. Like it remained the whole live stream, maybe because I didn't run that much. I went straight to the readings, so I saved time. So thank you so much, guys, for being there for me because yeah, this I don't know. You know that I get very sensitive when I have to change mics because the whole phone shakes. Everything shakes. So yeah. Okay, guys. I'll see you. Hopefully, I see you during the weekend. I will let you know. So, okay. So have a good continuation of this week. Take care and yes, bye.